Hello everybody, my name's Melissa. Welcome to my channel. So I was going through some old photos of my jewelry and I came across this ring here. I believe this is the only one I've ever made in this ring, which surprises me. The date stamp on this photo is 2008, so it's been quite a while. And of course I can't remember how I made it. So for this video, I'm gonna try to recreate it the best I can because I think it's pretty cool. So if you want to see if I figure it out, just stick around. This will be fun, I'm sure. Okay, I grabbed a steel block, my mandrel, and some pliers, especially round nose pliers for those swirls. I'm gonna grab some 14 gauge, and this is dead soft copper. And depending on how big you want your ring, you can measure the ring size on your mandrel with some scrap wire. Like say if you want a size 7, you can measure the 7, get a ruler, measure it out, 2 1/8. You can also measure, the whole way down and write it down, which I've never done. That's an idea too. And technically this ring is adjustable, but still, if you want a smaller ring, you can go kind of smaller. If you want larger, go larger. Smaller fingers, you can go down and gauge as well if you want to. So I'm going to hammer out about 2 inches of band. I'll probably add another inch for the swirls. So I'm going to cut 3 inches of wire and I'm going to start hammering the center. Pick an angle and start hammering. To straighten it, you turn it and tap it. Turn it the other way and lightly tap. Turn it around. Tap. Okay, so where's our flat part? I want my flattest part to be in the middle and slowly taper off to the ends. Not all the way though, because we're going to flatten the ends going the opposite direction. Okay, nice and straight. Now I'm going to turn it to the side and then flatten the very ends. Taper those as well. Do that to both ends. Notice I'm kind of swooping. Makes a smooth hammer. Come back to the center. Okay, so we've got flat in the center, a quarter turn, and you got flat on either side. We're going to go to our mandrel now and put the flat edge against the mandrel and shape our ring. Gently shape our ring. Coax your wire around the ring. Even turn it around so it doesn't taper. Make sure to stay even. Crisscross those guys. You can take it off. Make sure your band is nice and flat. You know, going this way. Start pushing these guys evenly. I want even amounts coming out on both sides. Let's start making our swirls. And they're gonna twirl to the outside of the ring. Gently. Oh, that's a bad bend. Oh, that side looks horrible. Look at that. You want them to be matching. So I'm going to gently try to coax this guy. Bring it out and bend it to a nice soft bend, not a harsh one. Let's get it back on the mandrel. I grab my rawhide mallet. Flip it. This guy needs to be bent a little more. Check the band again. Okay. There we go. Still adjusting my swirls. There's always adjusting going on. All right, so I'll be back. I'll go work on this. Well, I'll throw this in the tumbler. Just leave it be and I'll be back. I'm not quite satisfied yet. So far, they're not looking like my picture. And it was so long ago, I can't remember how I did it. So I'm gonna try one more time. This time I grabbed 12 gauge fine silver. Flush cut that. Three inches. Let's try this again. I'll pound out the middle first. I'm going to flip it and do the ends. Blend these hammered marks into each other. Keep it nice and straight. This one I don't want any hammer marks. I want it just like my picture. Okay, so I've got flat and then flat on either end, which I don't think are totally even. Let's see, kind of twist it. Should we start shaping it now? Grab my mandrel. You know what? Maybe I should anneal this first. Heating that up will make it nice and soft again. I want it to be glowing. But I don't want to melt it. That's good now. Ooh, my goodness. I can shape it with my finger now. That makes it much easier to shape. File the end a little bit. So that's probably what I did. I know I was using the torch back then as well, a little bit. Okay, gently curve it. So they're matching at least. Okay, pretty pleased with that. Looks a lot more like my picture than the other ones. I like the subtle twist. Make sure my band isn't warped. Turn that around. Quite pleased with this one. Yes, indeed. So I'm going to throw everybody in the tumbler, all the ones I've worked on, and I'll come back and show you the comparison. All right, I'm back. So I've made 4 of them. This is the last one I made. This one turned out to be the best in my opinion. Nice and thick and sturdy. And this is the only one I annealed. So my recommendation is once you hammer it out, you anneal it and it'll make your life so much easier. But before I got to that point, this is my first one I had on a video. This is the 14 gauge. That's 12 gauge. This is 14 gauge copper. And this is also 14 gauge. I believe that's fine silver as well. This one has more of a hammered look, but I didn't anneal this one. They turned out okay. This one happens to be, I think it's sterling in 18 gauge, which to me is a little flimsy, so I'm not even gonna bother going over it much. I thought 18 gauge would be, or is it 16 gauge? You know what, I think it's 16 gauge, but I still think it's too small. This would be perfect for teeny fingers. Make it a little smaller. It'd be perfect for that. But I'm really pleased how this one turned out. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. And always, thank you so much for sticking around to the end of the video. If you made it this far, let me know that in the comments so I can personally thank you. Seriously, the biggest way you can support my channel is watching my videos until the very end, and also clicking on them when you see them come up. But another great way to support me is to keep on watching. So check out this next video. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Have a great week, and I'll see you in the next one.